Hi, I'm Brian King, and we're going through the DNA of what makes King Law offices what it is. How do we get to where we are? And one of the most important things that we do at King Law is the case manager meeting. Now, let me back that up just for a second because you may say, well, what does that mean to be a case manager? Well, uh, I, for us, it means essentially a paralegal in an office, or a traditional office would say we're paralegal. And I have nothing against the word paralegal, but what I did find is that our clients thought of paralegal is to lawyer, is nurse, is to doctor. And over time, I've really studied that to find that if you have a sick child, you are not going to be happy until you hear what the doctor has to say. It doesn't matter that the nurse has spent 20 years doing the same thing and has seen this, and the doctor may be just out of school. What's important to that patient is that their child sees a doctor. Well, I was afraid that the same thing would happen with that paralegal to lawyer mentality. And I think that names mean something. So we decided that what you really want is a case manager. And I think clients understand that concept. The concept of somebody who's going to manage my case. And by that, I mean that when there's a lawyer that needs to get involved, they can manage to get that lawyer involved in it, or they can handle what they need to themselves. And they can be the one who's doing the scheduling and the work. And that's much cheaper to the client. It's someone who is there in the office, who's not rushing off to court, and is available to be able to be and guide through that case. Knowing that we have case managers, and those case managers have to have a relationship with clients. And it's so important that a client has a good relationship with King Law. How do we do that? Well, we've already talked about the consult, the intake, and putting that together. But once you retain, the first thing that's going to happen, and it doesn't matter what practice area group you're in, what other area that King Law covers, the first thing that's going to happen is a case manager meeting. And I want that to happen within 48 hours of that client retaining. And that case manager is going to then collect the data. That can happen in the consult. The consult, you're just trying to determine, is this something we can do? The client is saying, are you a firm that we can trust? We're not going to get every document, every fact in that consult. Once that person retains, though, the case manager meeting we do. And we're at case manager meeting, the case manager schedules it with the client, who is now a client, and says, let's spend some time together. In a normal case, that may be an hour meeting. And that case manager, after building some rapport, how are you doing? I've seen your problem. We're going to get to work on this thing. Is going to get to the very heart of the issue. And usually it's going to be chronological. And it's going to be, when did you meet the other party? Or if it's an estate plan, like, tell me what brought you here. How did you get to the positions you're in? And then the case manager is going to go through a series of questions. It's essentially going to be one question. What happened next? What happened next? And that case manager is going to be putting together a document of the facts of the case. And then they're going to be saying, like, okay, what documents do you have? And compiling that up to where that Clio file is going to be full of the facts of the case in a note form. And it's going to have all the documents. And it's going to have a ongoing conversation where the client's getting the homework, saying this is the documents that we're going to need. And it's going to lead ultimately into an attorney meeting. That case manager meeting, more importantly than anything else, is a chance for that case manager to say, now, you've gotten a chance to get to know me. I know you. When you have an issue, you call me. The attorney's going to be in 1,000 different places and maybe busy dealing with other clients or other cases or in front of a judge or maybe even off on vacation, whatever those things are. The relationship comes with that case manager. And now the client has that trust factor and has someone who they say, yes, that person is there for me. Because a lot of times an attorney may be involved in a case. The attorney may change, or maybe that attorney needs another attorney in the office to be a part of it. The case manager becomes the consistent person to guide that client through the process. And that all starts at the case manager meeting. Those cases are 30 minutes to an hour. You're drafting a full chronology of the case. If the custom fields are not finished, every case manager meeting should have the custom fields so we know the basic data so we can start generating documents in a way that is very specific to that client. And then the documents that are needed in the case can begin to be drafted. That way, when the attorney gets involved in the case, they have all the facts laid out. They have the documents in a reasonable way for them to be able to get to them, and they know what's going on. It is such a vital piece of the client journey, possibly the most important piece in terms of the way the law office looks at this, is that case manager meeting. That's who we are. We're going to always do these things, and we're going to get better and better over time at making sure that we are taking care of clients and they're having a great client journey.